The future. So we're going to talk about what's coming next in the digital world. First is the next wave of AI and commuting. We've already seen AI develop in the past 3 or 4 years, a lot more. So we really have to get go next year. Next, hyperconnectivity and more immersive tech. Think like VR headsets or AR glasses. Then smarter living and sustainable tech. Because one thing we have to do as we keep progressing in the tech realm, we also have to make it more sustainable, good for a planet. The idea is to have a place where the tech is really good, it's really advanced, at least compared to now, but it's also not hurting the planet as much as now. So that's kind of like it's an uphill battle we have to fight because as we keep making our tech more good and good, I guess, it's going to be harder to make it take up less energy and be better for the environment. Then the future of work, security, and space. Like Summer said, take everything here with like a grain of salt. These are more like, based on what I've seen, some of these are more like general trends, I guess, of where tech may be heading in the next 10, 15 years ish. So not everything on this list will necessarily come next year. So first of all, next level artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence 2026 will go beyond simple automations. It'll move more to decision making and creative problem solving. One thing I've seen actually recently is this tiny little device called the Rabbit R1. I know this is going a bit off topic, but the Rabbit R1 is basically like the small box that you carry around. It has a small touch screen and a scroll wheel, just like a phone does, but it has AI stored within it. So it has a processor and it's completely built around this AI interface. And if you ask it to order something, then it'll order it for you. So it wasn't that good yet, but we're thinking that AI can do more and more of the decision making. There's also the new browser called Comet that came out. It's by Perplexity AI. We tested Perplexity before in this session. So that's like a new browser that came out, and it also has decision making capabilities. So, for example, it can order an Uber or it can order food, DoorDash, for example. So it can do things instead of just acting on things and generating things. This means smarter personal assistance, AI-powered education, and improved medical diagnostics. So the AI will be more context aware. So for example, if you ask it to order, and if you ask it to get an Uber maybe at night, then it'll find an Uber that's maybe safer. I don't know what exactly it'll do. I don't know like a good example, but it'll be more context aware based on the time frame and your schedule. Also, predictive personal assistance, then AI in healthcare and education, and ethical and job impact concerns. So as far as the concerns go, honestly, number one, people could lose jobs as AI gets better and better. There's predictions about people losing jobs, especially in more, I guess, monotonous fields where they're doing like the same thing over and over again and the AI can do it better. That's kind of what happened in history with where like robots came into factories, into production factories. Back in the day, like cars used to be built with people like manually doing one task on a factory line, production line. But nowadays, a lot of robots can do things. People lost their jobs. So just like that, following on to that, people could lose their jobs again with AI doing something that's simple that an AI could do. Next are quantum computing breakthroughs. So quantum computing is a special type of computing. Is basically where, okay, computers have a state where they can be either in a zero state or a one state. Now this is getting pretty technical. A quantum computer can be in both states at once. So it's in a parallel reality. I don't want to like make it too complex. But anyway, quantum computing will be powerful enough to solve problems much, much faster than a typical computer will be. This will impact a lot of industries like medicine, finance, climate change, etc., by providing faster and more accurate solutions. So right now, like for example, downloading a file and then processing it in AI, it'll take a while if it's a big file. I know it's very fast if you're using something small. Like if you have a study guide and you want to download that onto AI and ask it some questions, it'll be really easy. But let's say you have like a 10,000 page pamphlet. It'll be really long to do that. It'll take a long time. So what quantum computing can do is it can make that much faster. Researchers can also use quantum simulations to discover new things, optimize supply chains. So anyway, like this is the future. A lot of people think that quantum computing is the future just because it's really good. It's also getting much better, much faster, and it's also getting cheaper to produce. Right now, like a quantum computer costs a ton of money. I don't know about how much, but it will get cheaper to use. So maybe in the next few years, we can get it in more mainstream technology items. So next is edge computing revolution or evolution. I don't know anything about edge computing, honestly, so I'm just going to read off this. Edge computing processes data closer to where it's generated, and it reduces delays and improves performance. So in 2026, we're expecting that this will be really important for autonomous vehicles like Ubers. I don't know if you all have seen Waymos. Waymos are basically this like auto driving, self-driving taxi thing, smart factories, and immersive gaming. So basically, instead of data being stored on a data center like far away, I'm assuming what edge computing is doing is it's bringing that data closer, maybe a closer factory or maybe a cloud system rather than having it like go to like a server in who knows where. So by minimizing reliance on the distant data centers that we do have today, systems can react in real time. This can make technology faster, more reliable, and more secure for everyday use. So right now, there's very low time already for the data on your computer. When you click search in a search bar, it's going to get sent to the factories, or not the factories, but the data centers. The data centers are going to search for it. They're going to come back with the result, and it's getting sent back to you. For that, like really far process, really big journey that the data has to make from your computer, it's already only taking like a few milliseconds ish. But this will make it even faster. I think this is more applicable for gaming, where you really want like split-second response. So next, hyperconnectivity and immersive 6G. We've been talking about 5G a lot lately. I think I had a presentation on it back in September. But basically, 6G is just a generation up from 5G. Remember, these are all cellular connectivity generations. So if you use your phone, if I take my phone right now, that phone will run on a network, and the network standard is called 5G. So 6G is just the next standard in that. They're saying it'll offer speeds up to 100 times faster than 5G with really low latency. Latency is the time that it takes basically for the request to be processed, I think. So reduced latency means that you're going to get everything done quicker. So even if you have a really high Wi-Fi speed, the latency still matters. The lag basically in how long it's taking to get your result back, that also matters. So this is going to make things way faster than 5G and also have lower latency. This is the best of both worlds. They're saying that it'll make real-time holographic calls possible, remote surgeries, and instant cloud gaming. It's supposed to connect billions of devices seamlessly, and it's going to enable smarter cities and industries. So the result should be a digital world where everything feels really instant and connected. I feel like this is kind of hoping for the best case here in the description. Okay, so basically there were a lot of claims about 5G. 5G was developed back in 2015. That's when they started rolling it out. There were so many claims about 5G, like you could do operations from different parts of the world. Um, Robots can run everything, etc. But really, 5G wasn't that efficient enough, and it still isn't as good as to fulfill those promises that were made a long time ago. So especially take this with a grain of salt. But the point is that 6G is going to come and it's going to make things at least a bit better. So next is AR, VR, and XR advancements. Augmented reality, virtual reality, and extended reality. They're all forms of reality that are just changed. So they use your vision, they can use your hearing, and they're going to change it. So what I mean in simpler terms is if you wear a VR headset, number one, it's covering your eyes. And then it's also going to cover your ears. You're going to have an earpiece. So it's going to make you hear something that you're not already hearing, and it's going to make you see something that you're not seeing in real life. So you're just changing reality, if that makes sense. There's also controllers that can make you feel something that you're not feeling. So those are all ways that reality can be tweaked. And these reality things are going to become more realistic, lightweight, and more accessible, most importantly. This will allow people to attend virtual classes, work meetings, or concerts as if they were physically there. We should have talked about the Vision Pro a really long time ago. It's one of the best VR, AR blending headsets that we have today. Basically, if you're on a WhatsApp, or not a WhatsApp, but a FaceTime call with someone, you can see them as if they're right next to you. It'll create like a persona of that person as if they're right next to you. So that's kind of what it's talking about. It's gonna make that really realistic. We were in the uncanny valley where we weren't really like, it wasn't as realistic, but it wasn't also like cartoon like. So people thought like the AI basically persona was kind of weird, but I feel like that'll get better as technology progresses in the next years. Entertainment will also evolve, offering immersive storytelling like never before. So, for example, if you're looking through a headset, you're really gonna feel like you're in that moment more than you were, let's say, like last year or this year. So that's what they're trying to say. The headsets are gonna get better, so the resolution on the headset gets better. That'll allow you to see better, and it'll act more like your eyes. Let's say the hearing gets better. That'll make you feel like you're in the moment more. So that's what they're talking about here. Digital twins. This sounds really weird. So basically, they're virtual replicas of physical objects, systems, or environments. Um, it is not like an actual person that is replicating, as the name suggests. It's just if you have like an object in real life, you'll also have that object in a virtual, basically like space. And they can be used to design cities and monitor infrastructure. So I'll give you a good example. If you have a map, let's say a city layout map, you can have that online, but instead of having to draw on the map in 2D, you can place like 3D replicas of buildings onto the digital map. So that's what they're saying. Instead of having like a paper where you have to draw in city layouts, basically, you can have a digital version of that that'll allow you to do it more immersive. So from manufacturing to healthcare, people can do surgeries. They can practice doing a surgery digitally instead of having to get. I don't know how they do it. Like I don't know how they practice anatomy, but let's say they're trying to do a surgery on an animal. For practice, they might get a version of that animal and then do the surgery on it, for example. So instead of doing that, instead of hurting the animal, even if it's already dead, instead what they can do is they can have that animal in their virtual space, virtual reality. They can do the surgery, a realistic surgery through that virtual space. So next, Internet of Things expansion in smart homes. Internet of Things is just like a protocol. Just remember they're smart devices, basically. They'll be more connected, adaptive, and energy efficient. Think like a Nest speaker, for example. I have a Nest speaker in my room. That's just a smart speaker. When I connect my phone to it, I can ask it anything and it's going to do it for me. So I have smart lights in the background. And if I ask my Google Assistant to turn on the smart lights, it'll do it. So what this is going to do is it's going to make that faster and it's going to make the smart lights more efficient. So it takes up less energy. They might use AI to detect unusual activities. So just upgrades to original security systems. For example, like the security system in our house, it's a motion detectors. It's a motion security system. So if you turn on security, if someone walks past it, then it's going to send you an alarm. But what AI can do is maybe it's you walking on accident. It'll know it's you walking on accident, so it won't trigger the alarm, even if the alarm is set to on. So that's sort of like the smart ways that AI can help out. So it can do AI powered security, energy efficiency, making the lights more efficient, maybe reducing the brightness when you're not using them, and personalized comfort. Next is green and sustainable tech. Sustainability will be a top priority for tech companies in 2026. We've already seen like calls for environmental reforms. Our technology is getting like pretty advanced. I actually heard a fun fact that AI might take up as much water. So you need water to, of course, like power the factories. So indirectly, AI usage might take up as much water as a whole country of the Netherlands. So that's like a really interesting fact to me. I wouldn't call that like a good fact. I don't think it's a good thing, but it's just interesting how AI usage can be correlated with like water usage. So people want to make things renewable. Companies also love to have that sticker on their product that says, 100% renewable or eco-friendly. So that will be a top priority for new devices. So for example, e-waste reduction, renewable power data centers, recyclable materials, even like in phones, for example, Samsung's new phone, they say like most of the titanium that they use in the frame of the phone, that is renewable. So that will be a focus and it will continue to be a focus in the future. Next, personalized healthcare. You can have wearable health devices, like for example, I have a Google Pixel watch and that can monitor everything from heart rate to stress levels in real time. AI is a big theme of this presentation, if you couldn't already tell. So AI can analyze this data to recommend diet changes, your exercise, even alert doctors. So right now I have a Pixel watch. What it's doing is going to track my heart rate and it's going to put it on a graph for me to see. But what the AI does is it's going to step in, take that data, and tell you if something's wrong with it. Because right now my Pixel watch won't tell me if my heart rate's off. It'll just show me the heart rate. So you have to do research to see if that's bad, what it is. But the AI can just take that data that you give it, basically, what's stored on your watch, and it's going to tell you what's actually up and what you should do to make it better. So not only does it give you the data, but it analyzes the data, helps you understand it. It also provides you solutions for the future. Patients will have more control over their health data, treatment plans, etc. Um, so continuous health monitoring, it'll take that data, it'll process the data, health insights. Really, a lot of things could come to the healthcare field as long as AI doesn't hallucinate as much. That's the main concern I feel like we're seeing is AI makes mistakes and it makes a lot of mistakes. And near health, health is something that's very sensitive. We don't want that data leaked. We don't want, let's say, like a wrong surgery operation. So that's why healthcare is really, it's been contentious. Like, should we use AI in healthcare or should we not use AI? So I feel like as AI gets better and better, we can use it more in these healthcare related fields. Next, the future of work, security, and space. This is our last category. So robotics and automation. Robots can handle even more tasks in manufacturing, healthcare, and even customer service. Like I said, if AI gets good enough and reliable enough, then who knows? Maybe we can have a robot doing a surgery and it can do the surgery better because it's much more reliable in doing it. It'll do the same exact steps each time, it'll get it perfectly. These machines will also be more human like in movement and communication, will make them easier to integrate into our daily lives. Automation will also boost efficiency, but it'll also require workforce reskilling. By 2026, robots may even serve as personal assistants. So this is a bit, again, this is like an ambitious claim that they're making in the paragraph. But I will say that more and more jobs can be taken by AI automated robots. And robots could be used more in being personal assistants. We've actually seen something like that. It seems like a utopian concept. But we've seen like robots basically. There was a robot you could buy. I think it was 2,500. It was Amazon's robot that you can buy, and it'll do things for you. So you can ask it to play music. It has a built-in speaker. It'll play music for you, and it has like these wheels, so it can basically walk around. If you ask it to get a drink, then it can like store a drink inside and get it for you. So we're already seeing these type of AIs, robots doing things for us. So we might see more of those in the upcoming years. Next, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the protection of everything we have online. It includes websites, apps. Example, as technology advances, so will cyber threats. Cybersecurity in 2026 will rely on AI-powered threat detections. It'll rely on safe encryption and stronger biometric authentication. Deepfakes are like a really big thing nowadays. You can probably go on Instagram right now. Like, I can go on my phone on Instagram, and I might see a deepfake, basically, like an AI generated video where you don't know it's an AI generated video. That could be by like a random person. It could be by a political figure to try to convince you. It could really be by anyone. They just have the access to the tools, so they might generate a deep fake. Whether that's just like a meme and you know it's a deep fake, or they're actually deliberately trying to trick you with it, we don't know that. And you have to figure that out for yourselves. But deepfakes are a big problem, and these threat detection algorithms, they're going to use AI to ironically detect the AI. They're going to use AI to detect the deepfakes. So security will also become a built-in feature. Right now, I wouldn't say it's an afterthought, like the paragraph says. It is a big thing, but again, like you don't focus as much on the security features. if I'm watching an Apple keynote, like the new iPhone 17s came out a while ago, if I'm watching that, I won't really care about like whatever security features they add. Like, oh sure, it'll be fine, I guess. Like that's my mentality when I'm going into the security part of it. But I guess we do have to care about security more nowadays, now that AI can be so good at acting as someone else. Okay, next, space technology and exploration. This is definitely not happening next year, but this is a trend for the next 50 to like 100 years. So over the next long period of time, space technology will go beyond satellites. We might have lunar bases, asteroid mining, and advanced space tourism. But it's actually interesting that I saw online and I wanted to share this. Was basically there was this asteroid that scientists found, and this asteroid it contained enough diamond to make everyone on Earth a billionaire. So what the problem with that is, if everyone on Earth is a billionaire, then $1 billion won't be worth anything. Like that's how economics works. So I feel like that, like claim is a bit misleading. Like if everyone on Earth has access to diamonds from that asteroid, if they mine that asteroid, then everyone will have diamonds, and diamonds will lose value a lot. They'll deflate really fast. So that was misleading. But I guess you could do asteroid mining. There's useful things you could do on asteroids, or any really space body. Maybe you can find uranium and then you can get that uranium back to make nuclear power plants, for example. So things like that. There are useful use cases, not just trying to get diamonds and make everyone rich. Um, Private companies and governments will also work together to expand human presence beyond Earth. We've seen how, let's say, like NASA and SpaceX have worked together. SpaceX is private; it's owned by Elon Musk. And then NASA, of course, the US's administration for space research. So these projects can create new industries, resources, and scientific discoveries. For example, space tourism. I think this is something that's going to come in the next, let's say, 15 years. I'm more optimistic about this, where you could get like, you could basically go to space for a lower cost than what it is right now. Right now, if you want to go to space, even like with Blue Origin is a company that takes people to space, like private individuals, just to check out how space is. It'll cost like $100,000. So I feel like as space tourism becomes more and more prevalent, the cost will also drop a lot. So anyway, lunar bases and asteroid mining might be a thing. Space tourism growth, more space collaboration internationally, not just in the US or Canada or India or China. Those are new industries and discoveries. Um, so anyway, here are the resources that the person who made this presentation used. We won't be watching this demo right now. We'll be watching the breakout rooms because it's pretty long. Anyway, thanks for listening. I know that was really long, but if you'd like to learn this with a Cyber Seniors mentor, then call the usual number you called. We'll also host weekly tech drop-in sessions from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. Thank you.